This is our brain, and these are two folks living there, Teddy and Randy. Teddy represents the emotional part of our brain, and Randy the rational. Teddy has been living inside our brain for millions of years, and is very driven to ensure our survival. Back in the days, danger was always around the corner, and Teddy knew that his emotions were important to ensure his safety. Fear and anxiety helped him to stay alert, and trust and love allowed him to be connected with his community. But as our conditions became better and better, our growth became more important than just surviving. That's when Randy, the rational part of our brain, expanded his control. But since we always first experience Teddy's emotions, and only after this can Randy become aware of it, Randy had to learn 3 fundamental rules about Teddy. Teddy has been here for longer than me, so he's the captain of the brain boat. Teddy only expresses himself in emotions, and every emotion has a reason. I should never suppress an emotion from Teddy, otherwise I can't understand what he has to say. These 3 rules are very important because Randy now knows that in order to steer this boat, he has to cooperate with Teddy. He has to understand his emotions, and to do that he can't just push them away. These rules are the stepping stones that allow him to perform his 2 most important tasks in the brain. He is Teddy's interpreter and mentor. Being Teddy's interpreter is what Randy usually does. Whenever Teddy brings up an emotion, Randy translates the emotion into words so that everyone can understand us. For example, if we see a boy or a girl we'd like to talk to and Teddy becomes anxious, Randy will interpret the emotion and form a thought using words such as, "This girl is way out of my league." This is the reason why it seems that Randy is the one making the decisions, because we communicate with words and not with emotions. But being Teddy's mentor is the most important task that Randy has. It is also the most difficult one, and for that reason, we rarely apply it in our daily lives. Even before putting the emotion into words, Randy has the ability to reflect on whether the emotion is beneficial to us or not, and only afterwards he decides what to do. Using the girl example, instead of merely interpreting the emotion, Randy can realize that being rejected by a girl is not a big deal. And even though Teddy is anxious, Randy might decide to boost his confidence and act anyway. Every now and then, some emotions cause more conflict in our mind than others. This generally happens when Teddy feels his safety is being threatened, or when his emotions are not in line with what is valuable to us in today's world. On those occasions, Randy's best approach is to try to find and understand the cause of the emotion, and then explain it to Teddy. But in most situations, Randy doesn't really know the reason behind Teddy's emotions. And to solve this issue, he can either choose the easy or the hard way. In the easy way, Randy can just come up with a quick fix to relieve the conflict in our mind. For example, if we fail a test at school and Teddy is feeling very sad about that, Randy might explain to Teddy that the fault isn't the teaching style of the professor. In the hard way, Randy has to investigate the real reason behind the emotion, which takes a lot more effort. It means that he has to learn and try to understand how Teddy works, and that includes studying a bit about his evolution and the neuroscience behind his behavior. Then he also has to figure out what the emotional attachments are that give Teddy a sense of safety, and in which circumstances did he create these. For example, if Teddy is afraid of social settings, Randy might interpret the emotions as if others are just not worth talking to. But if he takes on the role of the mentor, he would dig deeper and perhaps discover that Teddy, for example, might have lacked affection or validation in his childhood and developed low self-esteem as a result. And from that point on, Randy has the ability to seek answers on how to improve self-esteem so that he can later explain to Teddy the causes of his fears and if it makes sense to have them. This awareness allows us to constantly let Randy help Teddy to steer the brain boat. And while Teddy will always be the one that orders the first command, Randy has the power to become the one who makes the final decision.